Now, you notice that the operator 1 tends to perform the task in this repeated order. What he does is, basically he is transporting the item to processor 1 and then to the processor 2. And then it is completing the setup for processor 1, which takes almost like 5 seconds. But it would probably make more sense if the operator stayed and completed the setup for the processor 1 before moving to transport item to processor 1 another processor, right? However, the operator doesn't perform the task in this order because it determines which task it will work on using what we discussed in our last video, first in, first out logic. In other words, the operator will do tasks in order in which it receives the tasks that are assigned to it. So in this case, if you see, Q1 and processor 1 are both assigned to operator. Q1 assigns the transportation task anytime a port is free to receive a flow item. So processor 1 assigns a task when it has a flow item and is ready to have an operator assist with a setup time. Because processor 1 will always assign task after Q1 assigns transportation task, the setup time will never be immediately done after A1 receives the flow item, right? So because what happens is, this is clear, you put here, then this gets clear, this gets clear, now you need to go for a setup. But this is already been started. So the solution to this problem is to add priority levels preemptions to the logic, to the task logic, which we will be covering in the next step now. Okay, here we're going to add that so that that's done efficiently, because currently it's not working that way efficiently, right? So as we saw that in the last step, the operator sometimes perform tasks in a strange order, right? Because the operator uses first in, first out logic to perform tasks. It sometimes perform tasks in order that are inefficient. Okay, and in this step we are going to understand how to prioritize the task so that these works efficiently. Now we can override this first in first out by assigning task a priority number. Okay, and the task is to complete the task with a higher priority number before the task with lower priority numbers. By default, all tasks are going to have a priority level of 0. So if I just show you that, what does that mean is this. So this processor 1 is at priority level 0 and that's what it has been set to default. Okay, so the task executor will work on any task with a priority of 1 or higher. So if you have 0 here, you have 1 here, it will work with priority to this processor. If it has 1 here, 2 here, it will work on 2 wherever that is. So the highest number priority will be taken first. Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to add priorities to setup time task. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to click on this processor and go in the properties down here. And if you see here the priority, we are going to change that to 1. Okay, I'm just recessing the model and putting priority as 1, and preemption we are going to put preempt only. Okay, preemptions and all those details you already understood. We are also going to understood that in detail in our upcoming tutorial series of task executors. Okay, so stay tuned for those videos which are going to come. Okay, now if you could notice by running this model, okay, there should be a change in the logic which has to be done. Okay, so if you could see, now what happens is, just have a look at this. It's working in like the setup. It's going to do the way it's going to put a part out there. You see here setup been done. Just have a look for the another round. It goes down, put the part there. It does the setup, then it comes here, and then it is going to supply the part to the person. So this is the most efficient way we wanted it, right? Now the operator not only puts part on the processor 1, it also completes its setup time, okay, before leaving to the work of any another task to be taken care of. Okay, so in conclusion, okay, now that we have built transportation task using standard 3D operating logic, you can see some of the few advantages of using this. Okay, it was very quick to set up, right? You notice the setting up a basic model with standard operating logic was relatively fast and easy. It It was easy to use, create a simple transportation task using standard logic. It's very easy, straightforward, probably best to use, right? And the preemption into priority, it's relatively easy to assign priority levels and preemption tasks using standard 3D logic. But what are the disadvantages of using this standard 3D logic? Is, I'll just make this slow. We have inefficiencies, at the point. So, as I pointed out earlier, it was difficulty to study out how adding additional operators will make system efficient, not since they do not always behave how we should expect them to behave in normal business system. They have an unexpected behavior. Sometimes an operator might perform tasks in the strange order because it is responding to the timing events which we saw. It's not doing setup, it's going down and doing the task and then stuff like that. Intermediate tasks we saw. Or what do you needed to add intermediate tasks in between the queue and the process. For example, imagine the operator was supposed to stop the computer, scan the flow bar, scan the barcode before it is to be put there, or weigh the flow. That's really not possible by using the standard logic. You have to have a custom logic built in there. When we talk about the model scalability, what if a single flow item needed to be transported by two operators together, maybe because of it is heavy? What if we want to able to add additional operator to study how many employees need to keep up the workload? As soon as the more complexities are going to be added into the Flexsim simulation environment, standard logic becomes little more difficult to scale. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. This is what we understood in today's video. Understood disadvantages creating standard 3D logic for task executors to assign task sequences, right? And we will be also understanding how the process flow is going to help us benefit and its advantages and disadvantages in our upcoming videos, right? Over standard 3D logic creation for task executors. So that's all for today, guys. Let's meet in another interesting video on your Leansimcorp channel for exciting engineering, educational, simulation, and a lot of exciting content. Do not forget to visit our premium contents at leansimcorp.com. And that's all for today. Let's meet in another video. So till then, stay safe, keep simulating. For premium content, do not forget to visit our website leansimcorp.com, where you will be getting all these premium contents available. So talking about what things you're going to get in, you're going to get in, simulation solutions. You're going to get premium training classes for simulation stuffs. You will be getting 3ds model file support. You can buy modules. You can access to simulation case studies. You can visit our services. Also, you can visit the blogs which you're going to get. So I was talking about simulation solutions, right? You can schedule one-on-one session with us, for training and details. You can access our digital assets like learning center. Okay, so here comes the booking online appointment. Talking about training classes, you can access premium training classes. Once you are going to purchase our subscriptions, you will be able to access our training classes which are listed out here, and these are continuously getting upgraded, guys. Talking about blogs, here we bring in blogs from travel experiences, health, devotionals, like industrial engineering, personality development, simulation tech, and lot more interesting and exciting. So do not forget to visit our website leansimcorp.com for premium content, blogs, and lots more.